What is going on, guys? Nathan here with a Payday 2 quick stealth guide slash playthrough. We're going to be doing Diamond Store today, and this is a post commentary, so if I don't follow along with the gameplay, then you'll know why. I'll kind of explain what I'm doing here in just a moment, but before I do that, I'd like to mention that this video is not supposed to be like a super world-setting speedrun or anything like that. It's just kind of how to gently speed up your stealth missions in Payday 2. Not particularly Diamond Store, but a mission like Framing Frame you can actually execute a lot faster than most people do. So that's kind of what this video sets out to do, teach you a little bit how to speed up your stealth missions, and so I suppose that's it. So what I'm going to do off the bat here is I put on my mask right away, and I'm killing the civilians on the streets. Now, that sounds bad, and a lot of people are against killing civilians. However, civilians are a lot more disposable than the game leads you to believe. The only bad penalty for killing civilians, while you're stealthing, I might add, is that civilians only cost you, for overkill, I believe, on Diamond Store, it's $11,000, which is basically nothing when compared to what you actually get from the entire mission. So civilians are just kind of a nuisance. They're a liability, and you should definitely not feel bad about killing them. If you're like morally bothered or something, it's a game. Like, who cares, dude? So just don't worry about killing civvies, and definitely make sure you have that bag up corpses perk. Can't even talk today, because that is probably one of the most useful perks in the entire game, along with answering pagers, etc., etc. Now, after you kill the civilians on the street, and I'm a bit behind here on the video, but you actually want to enter the side door there, the security door, and you can kill the guard, I believe, but in most cases you want to dominate him in case there are 4 other guards, because you can only answer 4 pagers. So you want to try to dom him every time, and that's fairly easy because he's going to be isolated on his own. And basically, the best strategy for actually dominating somebody is to not just go up to them and start spamming the shout button while you're walking up to them. You instead want to wait for them to actually notice you and be alerted, have that exclamation mark, then you press your shout button, and that way you have the exact timing of when you need to press that button. So then we're going to go around back here, and we're going to kill that camera. It was pretty necessary, but I didn't really have a choice because it was watching the door and I can't enter otherwise. So I'm going to open this door, and there's going to be a guard around here somewhere. Like, right now I know there's a guard probably coming for this camera, so I'm going to try to speed this up pretty quickly. And I don't want to shoot that guard because he was in full view of the entire lobby, which is something a newer player might have actually done, which is definitely not something you want to do. So I got the guard out of the way. There's the store manager was right there, so I killed her as well. You know, I'm not worrying about tying her up or anything. It's just so much easier to just kill civvies, get them out of the way. So I'm going to answer this pager, bag up the guard, and then bag up the manager, and we are all good to go. And this also guarantees that I have the key card right away, which, if you guys don't know, the key card in Diamond Store is good for actually disabling the alarm on a glass. So if you break glass, the alarm doesn't sound and stuff like that. So usually the actual dial pad where you activate the key card with is found in one of these brown walls, which is what I'm searching for right now. Unfortunately, I discovered later that it was in the center lobby, but I'm not going to worry about it now. Nor am I going to activate the drill on that titanium safe, because I know the whole sound thing with drills in Payday 2 is kind of broken at the moment, but I still don't want to risk it anyway, just because I'd like to be safe. Now here, these civvies, I'm kind of wondering whether I should kill them or not. I decided not to kill them yet, because I just don't see the need to. Like, here, I think there's just more chance of people spawning in on the street, so I'm not entirely sure. So here I'm going around the front of the store to check for guards, because the last attempt I actually had at this mission, there was a guard hidden among the crowd and the civilians, so I forgot him. So now I'm just making sure I know where all of the guards are, and I probably could have went on the cameras and actually found out that he was there anyway, but I'm just making sure that I know where he is, and I believe so far I've killed one guard, I believe. I'm not really keeping track. But anyway, so the cameras are going to point out all the guards, and I'm also making sure where the cameras are, so I know there's 3 cameras left still, and this guard is just going to sit there and not going to do anything. So I decided to take some action, and I believe I'm going to go around the back here in just a moment. But the guards won't walk through that door in the security room, so you don't have to worry about that. And so, yep, right here, I'm going to run around the back here and start some business. Luckily, the guard was standing there, and luckily, he was kind of hesitant because I was like, if I kill him, will the civvies see? I'm not entirely sure, but it actually turns out that they don't see him, and even if they did, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. I can pretty much take out all 4 civvies that were standing or sitting there before the guard's pager, like, actually triggered the alarm. So I still would have been able to answer that pager, and all would have gone well. But luckily, that other guard is just right there, almost gets me, but I'm going to take him out. He is the last guard, so I'm going to answer his pager, bang him up, get him out of the way, and we are good to go to start the second to last part of the mission. So we're just going to answer this pager, and he's good to go. I, for some reason, thought I bagged up the body and that I was carrying it, so I was like, why can't I throw his body? I'm trying to lay down an ECM. I'm like, what? So I go back, and I don't know why I'm giving a play-by-play, just to explain what's going on. So in Overkill, I think Overkill versus normal difficulty, there may be one more guard, in terms of, like, hardest, difficulty, to easiest difficulty of either of these missions, like any of the stealth missions, that is. So I think I'm gonna go around front here, and let's see, I think here's where I'm going to lay down the ECM. Now, here is the most risky part of the operation. Oh, I'm going to run back here. I think I'm deciding whether to kill the civvies or... Okay, yeah, here is actually where I'm making sure I know the locations of the cameras, because the first thing when you shout at the civilians, you want to lay down the ECM, then take out the cameras, and then you start shouting at the civilians. Otherwise, if the ECM ends and there's still cameras up, then it's going to see dead bodies, etc., and trigger the alarm. So here I'm going to go around back, kill the civilians in the back here because it's nearing the end of the mission, so I figured that it isn't that big of a deal. And I don't remember what I'm doing right now. I think I'm searching once more for that keypad, which, like, it's not really that risky, because, you're in the upper offices, so it doesn't really matter. The risk of getting detected is very low up in there because you have lots of cover to hide behind. So anyway, I'm going to deploy this ECM, and then I'm going to start shouting at the civvies. I'm going to single out these cameras, and take one out. Then number 2 is going to be up here, right to my right there, and then it's going to be number 3 is in the corner. So glad I had early access to the security cameras. Now I'm going to take as many civilians or hostages as I can by tying them up, but otherwise I'm going to kill a lot of civvies here, more as a liability than anything else, because I don't want to have to worry about them. Once again, the cleaner cost is basically negligent in terms of how much it costs you versus what you get from the mission, especially on Overkill. On normal difficulty, it might be a little bit different, but on Overkill, you're just paid so much that it just doesn't even matter. So we are going to carry on here, and I believe we are nearing the end of the actual risk part of the mission. I'm going to speed up getting all of the loot. But here I'm going to bag up these civvies, put them behind a wall in case somebody spawns in on the street. I don't even know the algorithm for Payday 2's civilian spawning, but I'm just doing it just in case. Going to throw him behind the counter there, and finally I'm going to run over to the side store here and actually kill this store operator, because there's only one person in the store almost at all times in this mission, so you're just going to kill him, throw him behind the counter, and then start on the titanium safe. And here is pretty much where it's going to end. There's one last thing I have to do, which is actually disable the glass alarm here just in a second. I find that it's going to be on the wall to my right. There we go, that's disabled, and now I'm going to speed up getting all of the loot and stuff. So this, honestly, I think is fairly faster than if you would do it with some teammates online, because most people will, like, screw it up for you. They'll I don't know, just expose themselves too much. It's just sometimes easier. It's easier to solo. Plus, it's a lot more fun because it's you in the driver's seat. Like, you have the sole control of how the mission is going, and if you screw up, then it's all on you. You can't really blame anyone else. So I don't know. That's just kind of my take on soloing stuff. It is actually really fun though. Like, it's some crazy fun, because it's almost in a bad way. Like there's more risk there, and the risk for some reason makes the game more fun. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, so that's a relatively quick stealth of Diamond Store. I'm sure if you just ran in guns a-blazing just for like a card farm, then you might be able to pull it off. I think the driver actually leaves too fast on this one, so you're kind of forced to stealth it. But anyway, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. In just a second, I will get all of the loot, and by the time you're actually done throwing the bags in the van and everything, because you need 14 bags, which is quite a lot, you can actually get, or the titanium safes should be done, so you can get the loot out of there. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything on this run, but I opened that ECM, got an extra 22,000 in cash, so that's always nice. And here we're going to wrap it up. I got about 400,000, looks like, if I do my math correctly there. So that is excellent, and last of all, we get the card, and I think I get a pretty good attachment for the Deagle. And that is pretty much the video, guys, so thank you all for watching. If you could leave a rating on this video, it is much appreciated, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll see you guys later.